Hi everybody, I'm Christian. This is Lazy Devs. It is the day, and I'm not really well shaved, so you see like the light is very different. But I have my beta hoodie on. This is a beautiful hoodie from Data Erase, really great glitch artist, and she makes those beautiful patterns that you can buy on Live Heroes, I think, a company from Poland. Wow, that's very international artwork that I'm wearing. Anyways, yeah, I'm wearing this because it's my favorite hoodie, because I'm so excited about the beta. So at the time when I released this video, the beta for the game is probably already out. I wanted to just step you through because last time around I said like, okay, if there's not going to be any pre-beta video, that means the beta is out. And in fact, I did some testing, played through the game one more time, found some little details. I want to step you through the details that I changed about the game and what the beta currently entails and stuff like that. So let me see, what is the current version? Okay, so I run the game and you immediately see some changes. So there's a logo now that I imported. If you look at in here, Lazy Devs, right? So this is the logo I imported. So you just use the same technique I used back for this thing. I actually just took the Lazy Devs logo and Photoshop and scaled it down and tweaked a little bit the font, the lettering of the font. So this already works, and I added a new mode called logo down here, and that just, you know, fades in the logo and fades it out again. Did some changes in the way the fading works, you know, summarize some functions that I repeated a couple of times. Nothing too crazy that you need my tutorial for. Something that's new is this part here. This is the piracy protection I was talking about. I'm not sure if this will work, so this is, again, at the time where I'm recording this, I haven't actually published the beta yet, so I don't know if it worked. But by the time the video is published, it's already going to be out. So now we will know if this will work. I will later on record another video that's telling you if this worked. So there's a new function called, well, this function is old, but it has some new capabilities called stat. And stat 102 should release, save the URL of the website the game is played on when it's in HTML5. So what I'm checking here for is like if it's not lexalawful.com and if it's not 0, because 0 is where it's not played on a website, then I set pirate to true. That means the game is pirated. So probably somebody downloaded the HTML5 game and uploaded it to their own website. Something that has been common recently on the Lex Lawful forums. And so I want to just stop this. And if this pirate is true, then it actually loads in the start menu, but you cannot actually start the game. What else? Well, the important part is that I actually, again, when it went back to collision. So, but it's not too much I changed. So I was like, still the behavior of the bouncing wasn't quite correct. And let me show you what the problem was. Again, opening my paint here. So you remember it's still the same edge case that we had all the time, but I think it's just like the implementation was just not quite. We actually addressed most of the stuff already, so it was just really some details. So let's say we have, again, our ball and our pedal. So we had like the save function where when it hits like here, and it actually should reflect in this direction, because it's not as far kind of like into the pedal from the top. This should count as a save, because the corners of the pad are rounded. So the corners were rounded and not square like here. And if the ball hits the pedal like this, it probably would ricochet somewhat in this direction. So you're coming like in this, and it says like, okay, treat this as a collision with a top edge. So it wants to go in this direction. Right? So, okay, it's here and wants to go in this direction, but then the next frame it collides immediately with the wall again, with the vertical wall, because it wants to go in this direction and it can't because there's a wall in front. So what it would do is would collide again, but it will also again be counted as a save. So in the second frame it's second save, and now it's again a collision with the top, but now it's so when you collide with the top or bottom, just the Y direction is reversed. So the next direction is going to go in this direction. And so you will see it will continue colliding multiple times, and eventually it will fly off in this direction. But it seems like the safe didn't do anything. So the solution was for me like to do the same thing that we already did back in the old collision detection, where it's like if it's colliding with the sides, or generally if it's colliding with the top. So if it collides with the sides, and then it counts as a safe. So every time there's collision with the top surface of the pedal, it just resets the ball above the like slightly above the pedal. So it looks like it's touching the pedal, but it's actually not colliding with the pedal. So if it came in from the side, it counts as a collision with the top. It resets it to like here, so it can fly away without colliding with anything. Just like a little tweak thingy. So let me show you where this happens. And I generally like, because I was really like looking at this and played it multiple times, so like recorded a lot of GIFs, and it didn't work, and I was like, what is happening here? So I rewrote this function because I thought it was maybe a little bit some other stuff that I did wrong here. I cleaned up generally a lot of stuff here. So for example, like this else function, there was like an if statement saying like if you hit the left or right wall, and then but both of them set the env to false. So I just like removed all of the stuff. A little detail is now, for example, the reflect function. I rewrote the reflect function because I thought maybe the reflect function works differently. So it no longer accepts, it still accepts the ball object, but no longer a collision object, just a description of the collision, CD. But you know that wasn't the problem after all. So you can keep the old function as well. Yeah. So I want to be removing some of the debug stuff that I have in here, but I want you to step you through a little bit through the stuff. So here's the save. I did some more testing. I think save 3s. This is a very generous save. I recorded some saves which should have been actually some losses, but they didn't feel wrong. Like I feel it's kind of nice to be a bit lenient in this specific case. It's not too bad to be like, okay, let's be a bit lenient here. And then here, here's interesting here because I had like multiple if statements that checked if the collision was on top. So this was in here and this was in here. So then eventually I just make like a huge if statement on top saying like, okay, if the collision was on top, then we're changing the angles, which see if we're changing the angles, then we're actually changing the angles. Then this is the thing I was talking about. We're resetting the position of the ball. And I actually went like -1, so it's kind of like, again, slightly above the collision, just to make sure that there's not going to be any mess up. And it visually doesn't look weird, because I think most of the time it's a comma value anyway, the Y position, so it snaps downwards anyway. Anyways, I did some recordings and it looked fine. It didn't look as if the ball was hovering above the pad. That would be the most important concern here. Then the catch power up and so forth. Yes. So let me remove this debug stuff because I don't think we're gonna need this debug anymore. This side hit can go. And I did a lot of debug stuff to see like, okay, so I can keep track of what is actually happening when the collisions are happening. Like if the ball ricochets of the pad, which function was responsible for this ball flying this way? Good. Okay, so there's another thing I also added here when we are ramming the ball, a pad ram check. I actually initially wanted it. I don't know why I haven't implemented it. I implemented a similar save function as I did with within a regular collision detection. So if you ram the ball and the ball is still not too far down into the pad region, so to speak, into pad Y, then you can kind of like bounce the ball back up. And so here is the ram save. Yeah, actually it's very rare for this to happen. I think I just managed to pull this off once. So you can just leave it out and it will be fine. But I'm just going to leave it in here, especially if the pad is small. If you get a small pad, you're moving it around very, very often. And then these pad rams happen more often. The actual ram happens quite a lot. This is not unusual for the ram to happen. But the pad ram, the safe ram, where you save the ball by ramming it. So kind of like the ball was already below the pad surface, but you can ram it and bounce it up again. That's something that's actually very rare to happen. So, you know, I'm fine. I put it on 3, so it can go 3 pixels below the surface of the pad. Okay. Anything else? No, not really. There's a couple of little details I want to get rid of. me see. I removed some comments. Not even like, okay, this is a comment that explains what's happening, but there were just like, sometimes we just commentated a bunch of code out that was old, and I removed that code, and that brought us back to below the compression factor. I even added some more text in here, like it's lit, Madud, CCC, combo, winning, noise, wow, seriously now, maximum bonage. Yeah, like that kind of stuff, like to be a bit more fun. I experimented a little, I played for a while with a smaller pad here, because I wanted to have the ramming happen more often. But I think we can return back to 24 here. Good. Ah yeah, there's one more thing. I noticed when we win the game, we don't not actually tracking if we won how much time it took to beat the last level. So let me see. Here we track. This is at state 2. This saves how many seconds it took to beat the level when the level is over. But when we win the game, we also have to do this. Again, we're gonna get removed after the beta. Just something that for the beta to keep track of. Okay. And I added some text. One is kind of like the link to my YouTube channel, so we can check out this tutorial. And the other one was a link to the Patreon of the musician, Gruber Music. Oh yeah, one thing I want to do this high score list should have more reasonable values. Let me see if everything works fine. Oh yeah, I want to remove this button. That's very important. Where is it? Update game. Yeah, here. This part needs to be commented out. Okay. Okay, so this seems to be working. Checking one more thing. Yeah, I think we'll fine. So let's go to the high score tab, and let's go to the point where we are resetting the high score. Here it is, right? So how are we going to do this? So I did some testing. The 3,000. I beat the game with 3,000 points. So let's go with 3,000 first, and 1,000 next. Then 500, 2,000, 1,000, 500, and 250, like this. This seems to be like a reasonable high score distribution. I will have to figure out the initials. What is K? Which number in the alphabet is K? Oh gosh. There's probably a thing for this. Let me see. Okay, there we go. So K is 11. So it's just going to be all Christian. R is 18. And S is 19. And something you can do if to like erase the high score list is you can go in the Pico-8 directory, not in the cart directory, but like in a sister directory called C data, and you can see like just text files, and they include the different save files, so to speak. Okay, there is Christian with the different high scores. Okay, good. So this is fine. Anything else? No. So if you're so the way I want to do this, I want to finish this beta kind of like a couple of days after this video release. So if this video has been just released and you're watching this, this means that the beta is still going and you can still play this game. And again, to reiterate, what I want you to do is to play through the game. There's like 15 levels in this game. I want you to finish all of them. You don't have to like win it in one go. What I mean is, like, if you go game over and just continue playing, that's fine. You don't have to create like a huge high score. I want you to just go through all of the levels until you reach the point where you type in your initials for the high score list. And then I want you to, you know, go to the right and make a screenshot of this screen and post it in a forum. I will post a link to the forum post on Exalawful, where you can post this image. And also maybe look high score, what kind of high score you achieved. And generally also let me know if there is anything about the game that you think needs fixing or needs to be improved. I already have some things that I would be nice to have if I was to continue working on this game. So yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to improve or add or stuff like that. Something that is kind of fun, we still have some plays left. So something you can maybe also even post in the comments section down below is what kind of nice the sick messages do we want to add in here, because I think it would be nice to have like a huge selection of sick messages. So there's like always something funny that is being said here. So if you want to add your text up in here, that is kind of like conveying that somebody is doing really good at this game, then post in the comment section and I will add it to this game as well. Yeah, and so otherwise, see you next time around when we are going to review the feedback that we received from our beta test, and we're going to implement this feedback and then maybe talk about generally how the project went and what we could improve if we ever continue working on this, maybe making a second part of this game, like a sequel or stuff like that. But all of that is coming up in the future. For now, I'm really excited to publish this to the public and see how people will react. So yeah, see you next time around, guys. Bye bye. Oh, there is one more thing I just forgot. I completely forgot talking about how to actually publish a game. A little bit of a... Yeah, okay. So, in order to publish a game as a PNG, the PNG is our images file, and the Pico-8 kind of like figured out a crazy way of saving the game in an image file. And so there's like an opportunity, you know, for the PNG file, for the image file, to have some text embedded into it, some kind of like commentary text inside the actual file, not on the screen. And it's using this opportunity to save the card data, the entire program in there. So far we're just having the P8 file, the Pico-8 file, but now we actually want to save our hero game as a P8.png. You can see that I actually have started it as a PNG file. So how do we do this? So the way we do this, we're gonna go save hero1 .png. And it gives us a warning where it says like, oh, label is blank, run card and use F7 to capture. So when you actually open the PNG that has the Pico-8 installed in there, there's like a little image of a card on there, like a cartridge, and that has like a label on there. And that label kind of like gives you an idea what this game actually is. And so we need to create that. And you know, the way you do it, you just play the game, and when it looks like indicative of what the game is, you press F7. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Now, a good idea is to maybe do the starting screen, but I feel like the starting screen doesn't really tell you much about what the game is. So I'm thinking about actually going into the first level. It would be nice maybe to have a different level, so let me see. Let me bring back for a second. Let me bring back the level skipping. So much. So I'm gonna skip to a level that is nicer. So I thought maybe about this level would be kind of nice because it shows us, it's kind of like a visual level. Let's see. Let me click through some of the other ones. Maybe this one. Also maybe thought about no, not this one. This is too busy. I want to have like some simpler levels so you understand what's happening. Maybe this one, but it doesn't have like the yellow explodey bricks. This one is nice, but it's kind of asymmetrical, so I don't like it. I thought maybe the last level. But again, maybe that's a bit too busy, and it's maybe a bit of a how you call it, a spoiler. So actually, let me just go with the Space Invader level. It's nice and visual, and I put the pad a bit off to the side, so so it's kind of like not really not symmetrical. Let's go like here, like yeah, like this. Saying F7. So now it saved our capture image. I'm gonna save the entire thing. So you saw it. It's saved as okay. I'm gonna go again. Save hero1.png. It's saved as a hero1.p8.png. So now this is the card that you can upload to lexalawful.com. I'm gonna also save it as hero1.p8 again, just to make sure. Okay, good. That's it. See you next time around.